Hey kids! So the video today is a request that I had, and it is about handling school pressure. Number one is organize yourself. Now, it may not sound super fun right away, but it is very practical and it is a skill. If there's an adult in your life, you can ask. That's a great first step. But the number one tip I'm going to give you right away that is super easy that you could do tomorrow if you have $5 is get yourself a planner or a notebook and start writing down due dates. So maybe your teacher has a copy of due dates and they give it to you. Maybe they just put it on the board. Maybe they put it on Canvas or whatever it is that you use to access your assignments. However, I still think it's a good idea, no matter where you have access to these things, to get yourself a planner or a notebook and write down when things are due. Doing it in a planner might be ideal because then you can just look at the months coming and go, oh, it's due then, so I need to do it before then. Like truly, it's one of the easiest things you can do. If you're not good at organizing yourself, you can learn, just like with anything else. There are websites, YouTubes dedicated to how to organize yourself. I might do one a little more detailed later just for students. Number two, this is a very important one also for, any emotional stress or anything you might be going through. Talk to adults you can trust. Be specific about the problems and what's causing you stress. Maybe think it out and write it down first if it just feels like it's a mess and you can't figure out where it's coming from. Maybe write it down first, think about it, and then tell them. Tell your safe adult and ask for solutions or help. A lot of the time when we don't write it down or give it deep thought, we don't always know where the stress is coming from. So good idea to think it out and then talk it out. 3, teachers often have 2 types of assignments in my experience. And this can be kind of a give or take, maybe slightly different situation depending on what school you're at. But often there tends to be one, things that require more of your time and energy and effort. Those are things like projects, special assignments, papers, tests, things like that. Those are the things you should be putting your energy and time more towards. So when you're looking in your calendar, hopefully, and figuring out when big things are due, plan, game plan how you're going to strategize to do those things. The other type of assignments that are pretty common with teachers are things that are worth points. Just, some points to get in the grade book, to give you a little boost if you make effort, like a little bit even. Cool, grade. Pay attention and you'll know the difference. I would also suggest keeping your syllabus handy for the whole year. I know teachers talk about it a lot of the time, like the first couple days, and then you shove it away and then you forget things and then your teacher's like, oh, I already told you that. Why don't you remember? And you're like, oh, I don't remember. I read it one time. Keep the syllabus handy. Just keep them handy because there will likely be things you need to know throughout the year in there as far as grades, points, basically hints as to where your efforts most need to go. Number 4, you could also watch my video about asking questions. Number 5, de-stress. I'm sorry to tell you that stress is going to be your friend from now on through life. It's kind of like there's a lot about middle school that it's like your first dose of some real life adult stress that you're learning how to manage. So of course it feels crazy because it's your first time getting into the more adult world and learning that it can be a little stressful. So you're going to need to start thinking about developing these tools now. How do you de-stress? Do you need to scream into a pillow? Do you need to journal, paint, run, lift weights, do a sport, whatever it may be? Figure it out. Figure out the thing that makes you feel less stressed, more calm, and ready to move on. Humans were not meant to sit on their phones, staring at their phones in a dark room, not talking to anybody and not moving their body all day. It's not healthy for us, period. Like, you just, at this point, with how well we know that, it's just not healthy. It's not good for you. So figure out the way that you like to de-stress. My ways of de-stressing are coloring while I'm watching TV. Like, if I'm really stressed and I just can't get my mind off of something, I find a cool coloring book and I color. I do yoga. I write. I walk around the block with my dogs. Those are the things that help me. Find what your things are. Number 6, another way to deal with stress and pressure, journal. Hear me out. I know not everyone's a writer, or they say they're not. But honestly, no one becomes a writer by never trying. You can't be something if you've never tried. And I'm not encouraging you to be a writer. Maybe you hate writing. Maybe you're indifferent to it. Maybe you just think, I can't be good at that. Or maybe you're amazing. Whatever. Writing is for everybody. And here's why. I mean, writing is powerful, and I won't get on a whole tangent of that right now. I'm a writer, so I really could. But I will say it's a great way to de-stress and see on paper what's actually bothering you and how you're actually feeling in a way that sometimes talking and thinking just don't do for you. And I'm speaking from experience. That happens to be the way that it becomes very clear to me how I'm feeling, what I'm thinking in a way that other things don't. And again, maybe that won't be the case for you, but you'll never know if you don't try. If you don't want anyone seeing it or any chance of that, you can write, tear it up. Maybe find someone that you know they won't look at your stuff and keep it there with them. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there for you to try getting your feelings out. If you're really stressed out, if you cannot calm down, if you are always tense, give it a try. Number 7, remember that school isn't everything. In middle school in particular, you are having a major shift in how school works and what it expects from you. A lot of your energy in middle school is going to be dedicated towards navigating that. That's just normal, and most teachers understand this. The outside world will put pressure on you always. You're always going to be hearing these outside voices of shoulds and have tos and need tos, and some of that we need to hear, but some of that gets really noisy. So you need to do yourself a favor and show yourself some care. Things are more complicated than just taking some pressure off yourself. I get that, but it's a good start to start thinking like that. My last tip is this. I've had a whole range of students that I've taught, students who put a lot of pressure on themselves, students that are in the middle and pretty balanced about it, and students that don't try. I've experienced all of it. And the biggest thing I can tell you is to just try to pay attention to those kids that are in the middle. They're balanced about it. They don't hate themselves when they fail, and they also don't just sit there and do nothing and not see the value in education at all. It not only helps you, but it's just going to help your overall experience and experience with your teachers and things like that. People aren't going to be looking back to your middle school experience when you're getting into the working world or college. It matters that you try because you're developing habits for yourself. But again, people understand that middle school is a transition. I really hope this video helps. If you have any comments below about anything I said, or maybe you thought of some tips that you want to throw out there, or you have some questions about maybe things I didn't answer in regards to this topic. Just leave the comments below and have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves.